Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Go check out my website at skysworld.com for life coaching and mentoring. I'm in the office paying some bills, taking care of business. Mind, body, and soul. This is how we get through. Hope you guys are ready for a good week. I was at the gym early this morning, working out as usual. Saw a guy that I talk to every once in a while when I'm there. He doesn't show up as much as I do. But when I see him, I give him a nod and shake hands, and he's a nice guy. He owns a business in town that's successful, and he travels the world and has interesting vacations, so we often talk about where he just came back from. The most recent vacation he had was in, I believe, England, and he was over there for some sort of motorcycle rally. And he had some pretty funny stories about it. It sounded like an amazing rally. All kinds of big shots were there. So I enjoyed talking to him. I saw him this morning. He was over on the leg machine. I had just gotten there. It was back day, pull day. So I was warming up on the rowing machine. Gave him a nod. He gave me a nod. Sometimes you can tell just by the look on someone's face if they have a lot going on, you know. I didn't initiate a conversation with him because I could kind of tell from the look on his face that maybe he's a little stressed, or it seemed like he had a lot of stuff going on. We all do. He gave a smile and said, "How you doing, Sky?" and that kind of thing. And when he was done with his set, he was going to go change machines. He walked over to my machine and he smiled. And he said, "You're a really good guy, Sky. You're a really good guy." And he walked off. I was in the middle of pumping some weight, so I didn't really stop and chat, but I gave him a smile and said thanks. And I was thinking about it as he walked off. I mean, it's just a compliment, you know, whatever. So hey, you're a good dude. We say stuff like that to each other. It doesn't really mean anything. But I started philosophizing on his words, as I do sometimes philosophize on words. I'll philosophize on lyrics to songs, on something someone says. I could overhear a conversation at the table behind me at dinner and just hear one line, one sentence that someone says out of context, and I might start thinking about that just in my own thoughts. What does that mean? Start pondering it. And I really appreciated the compliment. Not that he thinks I'm a good guy, because I don't really care if you think I'm a good guy or not. I don't really care. But I didn't take it as just a simple compliment, as if he likes me, because who cares? I took it as a reminder, like a reminder from the universe. Like it wasn't even really him talking. He became an avatar at that moment, as if he was possessed by a spirit. And the spirit was telling me, "You're a good guy, Sky." As a reminder, to remind me I'm a good person. That's how I took it. And I'm sitting there pumping the weight, thinking about all kinds of shit, man. I got a lot of stuff going on in my head right now. I'm fighting battles just like each one of you. I don't know how intuitive he is. The guy's not a mind reader. I don't know how brilliant he is. I've talked to him many times over the last year and a half since I've known him. And, you know, I mean, I'm not going to dog him if he's watching the video. It doesn't seem like he's a rocket scientist. He's no Jordan Peterson, at least. I don't know how intuitive he is. I doubt he could read my face and see that I was going through some sort of mental struggle, pondering if I'm a good person or not. Pondering what's it all for, what's the point of it all. I doubt he could sense that. I have a pretty good poker face. But that's how I took it, as a reminder. Almost as an instruction. I mean, an instruction and an order would be to be a good person. If he had walked up to me and said, be a good person, that would be an order. But that's a weird way to talk to somebody, especially someone you don't really know very well. No, he just thinks I'm a good guy. That's all it is. And thank you. I think you're a good guy also, but I've been pondering that sentence. You're a good guy. I've been pondering that for the last couple hours. Reminding myself. Allowing the universe to remind me, to keep me on track. And it's funny how sometimes right in the moment of slipping backwards, you can be caught. Someone can catch you. Just right as you're about to fall off that cliff, someone could grab you. And it's not that I'm walking on the edge or like I'm so volatile, ready to snap. Some people are. Some of you might be ready to snap. I'm not. I've backed off of the edge. I got a Johnny Cash poster over here. Walk the line. It's always a good song. I'm not walking that line this week. Thank God. But I got enough stuff going on in my head to where sometimes it feels like I get pulled backwards. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Sometimes it's only 1 step forward and it's 2 steps back. And just that little reminder, those meaningless words that he probably forgot about as soon as he got across the room, actually meant something to me. The universe is keeping me on track today. So, the lesson is pay attention to the signs and signals sent your way. Pay attention to the messages that are constantly around you. You think that the universe, that God isn't talking to you. You've been forgotten. You've been forsaken. The birds may be chirping messages at you all day. You'd be surprised. You have to quiet the mind and start listening. Read between the lines is what my dad used to say. He'd always say that. Read between the lines, son. But at the very least, I think it might be a good idea this week for some of us men, some of the more confident and stronger men, some of the more stable men out there, to pay it forward, so to speak. Tell someone else that they're a good person and see how that lands on them. Tell them as a reminder. Remind someone at work. Remind one of your homeboys. Remind your wife or your kid. Remind somebody. Be someone in a bus stop that you see every day and chat with for 5 seconds as you get on the bus. Anybody. But remind somebody that they're a good person. Somebody might need that reminder. You might save someone's life. They might have that spark right at that second and be like, oh yeah, I guess I am, aren't I? Wow. Thanks for telling me that. You may bring someone up. They're reaching out. They've already sunk. The only thing sticking above the water is their hand. They're already drowning. And simply by you saying, hey, you're a good person. It's like reaching that hand out and yanking them right out. All of a sudden you gave them another day, another couple days. You'd be surprised what paying forward a little bit of brotherly love can do. And it takes a confident man to do this. A weak man wouldn't have been able to pass a compliment on like that. My buddy at the gym, I can tell because I've known him for about 1.5 years, and he's a very confident alpha male. This guy is doing it in life. He lives an incredibly great life. And I think that this is how, just at the very least, some of us can help out this week, is just paying it forward. Telling a motherfucker, you got it going on, brother. You're doing it. Keep it up. Stay strong. Food for thought.